Uh, had mango-y, lemony punch to it. It was like all these flavors, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be terrible." And then when we had it, I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good."
Is it like a key lime pie type of thing? That's what it
I
sounds like.
Let me see if I can find it because it's like, hold on,
Or, well, not key lime. It'd be like a banana cream pie or something.
I don't think so. Like, I don't know if I've never really had anything like it. Here we go. The DK Crush Float. It's a mix of banana pineapple soft serve and pineapple soda, topped with caramel popcorn and toffee pieces. And it doesn't say it here, but it also had the waffle cone. Here, I can show you a picture of it.
Dude, that
It
sounds
looks insane,
amazing. That
but
sounds amazing.
it was so good. Like, I'm not a dessert person, so like I didn't think I was gonna like it. Can you see it?
It's about to enlarge. Oh, that's I see where the mug comes. You can show the mug now on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
literally like it's hard to tell. It was just in a cup and the
Yeah,
cup was put in here. So I just like pulled the thing out and just put this away.
yeah. No, you can see it. You can see how it's clearly in a plastic cup or something.
Yeah. But
Which
it
they
was
do that intentionally because they're like, oh, you guys are definitely taking this home.
oh yeah, it's the only place that they had it in the whole park. But it was phenomenal. It was such an amazing trip. And then to like come back and then the next day go see this movie. Perfect. It was just perfect.
I was going to find a Mario shirt, which I'm sure I had, but I was like, you know what? I'll just wear red in like honor.
I That kind of looks like a Mario cosplay. It looks like you're trying to like do a take on the character.
It's even funnier. I'm gonna try to do a leg kick, but I'm also like wearing blue like sports pants. So it's like the blue overall. It's like a modern take on Mario.
Yeah, I love it. And I got just the classic look.
Yeah, that's great. Mario Kart. I love it. As he takes a sip of the DK mug. That thing is iconic already.
The thing is what?
It's iconic.
It super is. I bought too much while I was on that trip. I'm sure you'll see more things as time goes on.
Well, we've already hit the record button. It's time. It is
It's time.
time for a very special episode of You versus Who, the show where we have hot takes on everyday debates. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. I was just kidding. I'm your host, Sven, and this is my great co host.
I'm Dan. Happy to be here. Happy here to talk Super Mario.
And we talk about all things nerdy
All things geeky.
and quite simply,
All things.
hey, we're
We're getting
getting
better
there.
at it. And
I
by
love
we,
it.
I mean me, because you get it right every time.
I've been saying it for about 5 years now, so it's a lot of practice. So today's special episode is not going to be a long one, guys, but it is a special one because we are both Nintendo fans, as you can
Same.
tell. Mario Kart shirt, wearing red. I mean, we're in it. And a very special movie just came out recently called Super Mario Galaxy. And I have so many thoughts running through my head. I don't know about you, but I have so many thoughts and a lot of opinions.
Mhm.
But I'm ready to get into it with you. So, yeah, I want to know what's like your initial reaction coming out of that theater?
My initial reaction is it was everything that I wanted it to be. I really liked the first one. And when it came to this one, I was looking for, I'm not looking for anything that's going to win an award. I'm not looking for anything like that. This is Super Mario. Although I'm not usually somebody to be like, to love the nostalgia bait of it all, I think like that's sort of what I wanted here. I wanted just this Nintendo romp to be able to be like, "Oh, I recognize that music," or like, "Oh, I recognize that character." And I got that. I got a very funny, like a much funnier than the first one movie. I just got like just like a good time. I walked out of that smiling. I was just like, this was what I wanted. Granted, there's qualms, there's issues, but nothing large enough to take away the joy that I had with this movie. So I had a
Squeeze
really good,
me ish.
very small issues personally, but I
I
can get into those, but I don't want to quash it just yet.
I walked into it wanting to like know absolutely nothing about it except for whatever they gave us in the trailer.
Hmm.
And so the fact that the Fox McCloud reveal came out slightly before it released to the public was a little unfortunate. That being said, I think they still wowed us with the cameos and the extra characters that they introduced. That it didn't take away from anything at all. I did walk out of that theater wanting to know the public's reaction immediately because I avoided as much social media as I could prior to this. Like, if I saw a hint of like Mario, anything, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, close the app. I'm out. So instantly, I go on social media and I'm like, okay, what's the public perception on this? And I saw a few things that kind of disheartened me. Like you said, I walked into that movie just wanting to be entertained and nostalgia baited. Honestly, it's Mario. It's an IP that's existed for decades at this point. And it did that and more. And then to see like some people say, oh, it's not as good or there were some issues in the movie, I'm like, there were no issues for me. I remember being seated in that seat for an hour and a half, whatever the runtime is, and just being like a little kid. I felt like a little kid playing a Mario game all over again for the millionth time. Maybe the biggest issue might be the relationship between Rosalina and Peach in this movie.
I actually had a question for you on that. Is that canon? Like, are they sisters, or was that made up for the movie?
I don't think that they've ever cemented the actual relationship, but it was
Okay.
hinted at in Super Mario Galaxy that there might.
Spoiler alert. We probably should have said that up front. Spoiler alert for anybody
Oh,
listening to this.
there's going to be a huge spoiler alert at the top of this, so it's
Okay,
all good.
okay, good.
If you haven't watched the movie yet, do not watch the rest of this.
Yeah, please put this on pause, go watch the movie, and then come back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, it'll be in the title and everything. Do not watch this unless you've watched the movie. But yeah, it's only ever been hinted at, and they've never. You know, Nintendo's never been like one for canon to keep
Yeah.
like the canacit. I don't even know the word.
Can't
You
see,
know,
now I don't know, canonical.
canonical things. They've never been one to do that, even across their own games. And so, like, I mean, the history with Birdo, right? Like, that's never even been fully explained, so to
Yeah,
speak. And so I'm okay with the movie taking the liberties to cement the lore going forward. I also believe that, especially because has a huge part in the development and production of this, I think this would be the way to determine how they see the canon of their IP going forward from the first movie and the second one. I think it's their way to establish that where they didn't prior. And so I'm also okay with having like, because I've done this with comic books and Marvel movies before too, right? Or even just DC comic book movies as well. I'm okay with like having a separate canon from the video game and the movies, and that being okay. Like, that's totally fine.
yeah,
Rosalina and Peach being sisters totally works for the way the movie works because in the first one we know that Peach never really understood where she came from, so it was like a good way to kind of rope those things together. And can I just say, Peach is like a powerhouse badass in both
yeah,
movies. She's always been, right? Like in every game. I think before she got her first official solo game, people were always like, she deserves her own solo game,
yeah.
And these movies just like further prove that. Like, they're just further proof of that. They're like, you know how Peach is such a badass? Let's show you how badass she is in like animation. And it's so cool to see. It's like one of my favorite parts to see in these movies is like her going through combat and stuff. That's like chef's
I mean,
kiss.
she really shone so much in this movie. I mean, honestly, it's called the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Mario really took a back seat to a lot of characters, not in a bad way. I think it was like definitely. I think it was Peach's movie for sure. And then I would say I think Bowser is probably number two in terms of like screen time and development and whatnot. It was really nice seeing these side characters get the chance to shine outside of just being like a an avenue to further up Mario. I feel like we learned a little bit more about the world. We get these characters a little bit more. I think that was like really fun to see.
And it's not a new thing for Nintendo to do that either. In previous games, Super Mario Brothers video games have always done that, where like Mario is not always necessarily the main character. Super Mario Bros. 2 has like four main characters being Toad, Peach, Luigi, and Mario. And Mario's like not even the best character to play. Peach has like the best like movement and flight ability. Luigi can jump higher. So it's not like out of the norm for them to do that. And I agree with you. It was pretty cool to see. Bowser Jr. also, I think they did pretty well. They were able to make his characterization come to life fully in a way that made sense. And like the backstory of him being in boarding school and everything, like that always explains like why he's not always there, you know?
Mhm.
And the fact that Bowser admitted to like not being the best father. You go,
I mean,
Bowser.
Bowser, everything Bowser said was funny. Like, he was a fun and we talked about this in our I think we did, like we did a Bowser versus somebody debate. I don't remember who it was. Was it Bowser versus Ganondorf? We did something where I was talking about Bowser being my favorite villain. Um, and I think this is why. I think he's just like this silly, goofy guy. And we got a lot of that in this movie, which was like really fun to see, especially like him playing off of Bowser Jr. And then we get some classic like Rage Bowser, but we also get like when Bowser's super small being very funny and just yeah, it was really oh, and then where he thinks he's the hero and he like sacrifices himself on the bee planet. I was like, "That's funny as hell." Like, I every time Bowser came up, I was like, "This is gonna be great. I can't wait."
Can I say Jack Black is just like
Oh,
amazing in that
yeah.
role? Like he just I think that's one of the perfect casting ever.
Yeah.
I also to piggyback off of that, I think it was a really good way to explain like why Bowser isn't necessarily always a villain in every Mario game,
True.
right? And it was done in a way that made sense, and it made his character made sense in the IP of Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, because you always wonder like, why the hell is Bowser playing tennis or
Right.
golf or baseball or mini game board games with these guys? Like that doesn't make sense. He's supposed to like hate Mario, and this movie did a good job of like being able to have him go back and forth from that.
Mhm.
It was like, oh, sometimes he does want to be a good guy, or like he has the heart to be a good guy. But sometimes, like how Bowser Jr. was able to extract that back out of him, like, oh, actually, no, like I am a villain
Right.
and I should terrorize people because that's who I
He's
am.
mentally weak. Like, he
Yeah.
goes whichever way the wind is blowing, and I think that's what makes him so funny because you have no idea what's gonna happen. Yeah. I mean, like, when I think about my favorite parts of this movie, It's it's Bowser and Fox. I think those were the 2 big standouts for me, which is crazy because Fox especially doesn't show up for a lot of the movie. There's, like, a big chunk where he's just missing it. Even when he's there, he's not super front and center,
He
but
was a
I think
big major part of like the third act of the movie.
yeah, but he also, like, didn't get a lot of character development or stuff like that. He was just there to kinda show up, but it was kind of fun to see that, like, how that played out.
Well, it was
Yeah,
like a
I
way to
think
introduce his character, and I believe they did it in a way. It was a little bit, maybe a little too comedic for my liking. I was kind of
okay.
hoping that he would be more like Mario, like a little bit more. I don't want to say badass because they're all kind of badasses, but like I was hoping that he'd be more straight laced. I guess like
Okay, I can see that.
they made him a little too comedic, and it was they gave him the Donkey Kong treatment, which I think
Yeah.
was the same thing they did in the first movie. I kind of wish Donkey Kong was a little bit more, and even then, Donkey Kong I think was a little bit more of that than Fox was.
A little more straight-laced. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he had a little bit more of, like, a redemption or change of heart later on in the movie for sure. Yeah,
I was
Fox didn't really get that, but at the same time, there's so many characters in this movie that it's hard to give them that. I mean, like, Rosalina was the one of the biggest characters they introduced. She got so little screen time, which feels like a disappointment, but at the same time, I don't know how much else I would cut out to fill her in. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
it made
it's a
sense for the
unless you wanna do a
story.
much longer movie.
Yeah, which they said that the animation is just too expensive, which I get it.
Yeah.
And they like the animation in this movie is crisp. It is so good.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a combat scene akin to the first one. The Mario Luigi versus Bowser at the very end of the first one. I was hoping for
Mhm.
something like that, where like even Fox comes in and displays a little bit of his fighting skills, especially if like what they're trying to tease is some Nintendo NCU, MCU, call it what you will, Nintendo Cinematic Universe or Mario Cinematic Universe. I was hoping for a little bit of that, but they really displayed his pilot skills. So I think that'll be cool going forward. I like the warp star aspect of it when they had Rosalina use it or Peach use it as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Rosalina got to use it, but I know Peach did. That's how
She didn't. She, like, made some, but she didn't really fly that way, I don't think.
But yeah, she used them at the very beginning of the movie to destroy the monster. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
The I wanted to touch on this because Yoshi is by far my favorite character in the entire Nintendo IP.
Mhm.
And Donald Glover did not do me wrong at all. I was shocked at the casting, but I was pleasantly surprised. I thought Yoshi was a welcome addition to the family. I thought having Toad be so jealous of him coming in, I think is very representative to how Yoshi was coming in and being introduced into the actual games.
Yeah.
Because for a while, Toad was like one of the main characters, and once Yoshi came in, he got his own spin-off. He got his own, he had his spin-off with the Mario Brothers as
Mhm.
babies, and so them playing that relationship up in the movie made so much sense. I was like, oh, that's what like. I could see how Toad would be super jealous of like Yoshi becoming their best friend when it was supposed to be him. So
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
And it also kind of, like, joked at the fact that, like, Toad was like, "Oh, he's just part of the group now," and it was just one of those things where it's like, they're breaking the fourth wall a little bit to kind of be like, "Yeah, Yoshi's just part of this movie now, like, we're not gonna do a whole big backstory thing, he's just part of the group, so
Well,
just
when
deal
they
with
did
it."
the backstory, Yoshi was, like, explaining it, but since they don't understand Yoshi speak, and
Yeah.
then Mario goes, "I guess we'll never know."
Yeah, I mean, that was fun, that was silly, I think, like yeah, that was, like, really, really fun to see, like, not every movie has to be highbrow, like, think of, like, movies like Airplane, like, that's a movie that's not super highbrow, but it's fun, it's funny, it's a silly good time. That's what this movie needed to be, because, like, I mean, think about Mario games, do you go into it for the story? No.
There's no
You go into
story
maybe
almost in
Zelda
any of
games.
it.
Yeah, maybe Zelda or like Metroid or something like that might have like a more crisp story. Mario, the world is too silly to try to ground it. There's power-up boxes and there's like there's like turtles and dinosaur like it makes absolutely no sense and I felt like they leaned into that. Like I felt like I was watching a Mario game brought to life. It was
Exactly.
very true to the whole thing. The one note I would say is, like, there wasn't a lot of Super Mario Galaxy, the game specifically. There was a lot kinda taken out, but not but I don't think it was a detriment to the movie. I think that's a complaint I've seen from people, like, they were looking for more of that classic game itself. And who knows, maybe they'll do more in the future for it. I mean, there was a Super Mario Galaxy 2, so who knows, but, like, that is one note that I saw.
I think that might be the one note too, is just, like, they maybe banked on the popularity of that title to, like, maybe
Mhm.
sell this movie, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but I also don't think it helped it in a way. It was, like I said before, I don't think the movies have to be a one-to-one adaptation of the video games. I think that limits their creativity a lot. And like you said, you were saying like it's not a highbrow movie or anything, but even for a kids movie based off of a very old video game IP, the story was still consistent throughout
Yeah.
and it made sense. It wasn't like they just slopped together a bunch of stuff, which they very easily could have done. And it's not like they weren't faithful to the IP either, like the unnamed Super Mario Brothers movie in 1993 that we don't talk about, which by the way, I actually love that movie.
It's
Even though
something.
even though a lot of people hate it, it's like one of my, I don't know, guilty pleasures, I guess. I love that movie for a lot of different reasons. Again, I think in my head, even at that age when I did watch that movie is as old as I am, by the way. That's crazy. Yeah. I think even when I watched as a kid, I realized like I can separate the canon of one thing from the source material. Like it doesn't have to be an exact thing. As long as like there's an inspiration to it and the story is there, it's just like trying to see what the artist's interpretation of it is. And that's okay with me. This movie and the previous movie are so good at being faithful to the video games and just adding in all the little intricate like sound bites and iconic like power ups and stuff that it's so faithful like you can't even be mad at it because you're like, oh, I remember using that power up, like when
Yeah.
Toad used the penguin power up to help Peach. First of all, actually I take that back. The whole Peach and Toad combat scene when they were at the when they were
The
fighting
casino,
the
that was
casino,
great.
whole I was like glued to my seat, eyes just like piercing at the screen. I
Yeah.
was Peach using that umbrella, the parasol, excuse me. is so fucking good. When that was the gift that Mario revealed to her, I was like, I already knew what was happening. I was like, oh, this is gonna get crazy.
Yeah,
So I loved all of it. I think it's a wonderful movie.
I
I
agree.
really hope they make a third one, which they probably will.
One very tiny note that I have is I was a little upset that Birdo was sort of thrown to the side a little bit. Like, when I saw her sitting there and I knew she was gonna be in the movie, I was like, "I can't wait to see, like, what they do with the character," and she was just sort of a mute character in the background. I think Birdo has a little bit more of, like, a history with the big group that I think, like, she should have been voiced by somebody like Jinx Monsoon. So that was a little, like, upsetting to see. They could always, like, fix that up, put her in the next one, give her a voice. I think that'd be totally
Exactly.
fine. Just something I sort of I noticed, but it, again, did not quell my feelings around the movie.
She was relegated as a minion, which is
Mhm.
very fair because her first appearance is basically as an opponent, as a an antagonist. So it's very fitting either way. It's not like look at Birdo and like let's make them a not even a villain, but like a minion to a villain, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that was in bad taste or poor taste. I think it's just like a good introduction to their character. And like you said, there's always the opportunity for the next movie. Also, like you said, this movie was very it was condensed, so there's not a lot of screen time to work with. So like Mr. Game and Watch didn't get a lot of screen time as well. Birdo, these are all characters that I think they're like introducing to build up the world, and then whenever the big Super Smash Brothers movie comes out, I think that's when we'll get like maybe a lot of this, maybe quick backstories, right? Because it'll be too many characters to just like try to give everybody a backstory. I
Yeah.
think it'll rely on the audience to already know much of it, which is kind of what I think is already happening in the second movie. They're just kind of wanting you to come into it like these characters. They've been around for 10, 20, or 30 plus years. They don't have to spoon feed you like backstories. It's okay.
Exactly.
So I have no notes.
Will say I do know the creator said that they don't ever plan to do some sort of a Smash Brothers movie or crossovers and stuff. I fully do not believe them. I think there were so many Smash references in this, like the obvious ones like Mr. Game& and Watch and stuff like that, but then, like, Luigi's
Rob,
knee kick, Peach doing the butt thing. There was, like, legitimate Smash Brothers moves that showed up in this movie that, like, oh, Rob, yeah, it's a good one too. I think it's just they'll if they don't plan on doing it, I think the want is there that it'll come around eventually.
it's a window that they're not necessarily leaving closed.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it sounds like they plan on doing more Nintendo-based movies, and if they don't do a Smash Brothers movie for another 10, 15 years, I'll be fine as long as we still get movies like this. Granted, Star Fox, Metroid, Link, whatever they do moving forward, I do want that to have a crisper story, I think. I think those games rely a lot more on story, so, like, I wouldn't want a Fox movie to be as chaotic as this one was. At the same time, I think it still needs to be fun, and I think as long as it feels like it was legitimately pulled from the games, I'll be happy.
Not to make a Marvel to Mario comparison, but I guess I will be. So pardon me, but don't. When Kevin Feige and John Favreau and all these and Robert Downey and all these people like started with the Iron Man movies, I don't think there was ever I think they wanted maybe to create that universe, but I don't think that was initially front to mind because it was just like let's get to the next movie. Oh, this movie did well. Okay, let's get to the next movie. You know? So I think Nintendo's kind of in the same boat. They're like, if it happens organically, then great.
Yeah,
If not, right now the only focus is let's make the next big hit. Let's make because at the end of the day, movies have to make a profit in order to make the next movie. So like it's a business. It is what it is. So for them, I think their only priority is making money, and what that means is just like putting out the next IP and hoping that that sells well, right? So like if they release a Samus Metroid movie and it doesn't do well, then that's kind of their indication of like maybe we don't have what we thought we had to kind of create that. So
right.
trying to promise that too early on might be too naive,
Mhm.
and I don't blame them for that.
Sure.
I
I
mean, we
completely
we
agree.
all want it. They know the fans want it.
Yeah.
They know it would feed families for eons,
I also
but
gotta say, I do love this connection now between the games and the movies. Like, the first movie came out, introduced a rebranded Donkey Kong, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out. This one comes out, heavily shows you Star Fox, and now there's all these leaks about a new Star Fox game coming out. I love the idea of, like, going to see the next movie, seeing something in the movie, being like, "Oh, does that mean this is coming in terms of a game?" You know what I mean? Like, action is so it doesn't feel like it's fully separate. It feels like they're together, and I really love that. I think it's gonna be and then, the other way around too, like, if a game starts doing really well, it's like, "Oh, does that mean" if Pokemon gets the new Pokemon does really well, "Oh, does that mean we're getting an animated Pokemon movie?"
I mean, Pokemon sells well.
Well, I mean,
Pokemon will
Pokemon's
al
gonna be perfectly
Pokemon
fine.
always makes movies. They have a new
Yeah.
show, like, every other month.
Pokemon's a bad example, but you know what I mean,
I
like,
know what you mean, though.
I love this universe, like, Nintendo this is all stuff that I dreamed of as a child playing the first Super Smash Brothers. I was like, "I love these characters, I love these crossovers, I love them
With
to do more."
Master Hand, like, if they were to
Yes!
make that into a movie,
I
Nintendo,
mean,
I will
you get a
empty my
scary
wallet,
person to voice Master Hand, like, Master Hand does laugh, I will point that out there, so he should be voiced by somebody. I think it should be Willem Dafoe, personally.
personally. No
I
other
think Willem
choice.
Dafoe has that scary ass laugh, and we know he can play,
If not Master Hand, then
versions of
Crazy Hand.
right, he could play both because he already did it with the Green Goblin. I can go on fan theories for a
Not
while,
to
but
keep going on the Marvel thing too, but I wanna add DC into this too, right?
sure.
Like the Nintendo I think Nintendo has a good foundation of what to create how to do a brand synergy, which is like what you're saying, the movies now kinda tie in with the game. We can maybe get a game if we get the good movie, or if we get a good movie, if we get a good game, maybe it'll create a movie. They have a foundation for what a good brand synergy looks like because of Marvel, and Marvel, as they were creating the ship, they were figuring out how to synergize everything, but
Yeah.
it's exactly that. You can tell, like, they made that I don't remember the year it came out, the Marvel's Avengers, the game,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
tried to look a lot like the MCU without actually using the actors of the MCU. And in that same regard, DC, now that it's spearheaded by Peter Safran and James Gunn, they saw that as an opportunity. And as they're creating DC, he's doing it that way. Like he makes comments all the time about how it's all going to be brand synergy. You know, the movies will tie in with the shows, which will tie in with the games, and it'll all kind of be one DCU brand. And I
Yeah.
think Nintendo is watching all of this go on and they're like, hey, these are two mega giant IPs that exist. And we are also a mega giant IP. Let's take that business model, so to speak, and let's make it our own.
Yeah.
And they can very much do so successfully.
I'm going to absolutely lose my mind when Illumination announces whatever show they're gonna do, like a TV version. Is it a Donkey Kong spinoff? Is it a Yoshi spin it's probably a spinoff, to be quite honest. But that's gonna be crazy. I'm buckled. I really feel like we're at the start of something. Like, I felt this way when The Force Awakens came out. I felt this way, early years days of Marvel. Marvel's still going, maybe not as strong as it used to be, but it's still going. Star Wars, unfortunately, has fallen off for a lot of people. I still love it.
We all
This feels
know
like we're at the birth of something. Like, the possibilities are endless, and they haven't disappointed us yet, and I think they will eventually, but they haven't done it yet. So, I'm, like, psyched.
you can't make everybody happy, you know?
Sure.
I think we're at the point where what is it, 2010, 2011, when they announced the Avengers movie. So we had Captain America, Thor, I think, and Iron Man, and we had introduced characters like Black Widow. I think uh, I don't know if Hawkeye was introduced quite yet, but Hulk, Iron Man, Cap, Thor, all of that. We had like all those characters introduced, and then Marvel comes out and they're like, also Avengers 2012. We're pretty much right before that point in Nintendo. They make one more movie, it's successful, and another 2 to 4 years from there, they're like, Super Smash Brothers is coming
Mhm.
in 2030.
Yeah,
I will lose my shit.
I
Bro,
will too. And also, I mean, this is another thing we sort of forgot about was they are doing a live action Zelda movie. Photos have come out for this. This is, like, happening. Is that gonna be the same Link that shows up in the animated one? Personally, I hope not, only because it seems to be more serious and grounded. So I would like a Tom Holland type maybe to voice a different Link because there are so many Links in the canon.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think they can still synergize it with the brand, and
Okay.
it'd be the way James Gunn is talking about doing DC. You know, he has animation with Creatures Commando. He has
That's
the
true,
TV
and
show
those
with
voices carry
Peacemaker,
over.
and those voice carry over. So if we have Link in live action, I don't think it would be a bad idea to use that same actor to voice him in an animation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not against you there. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And they all they would have to do is just stylize it to look like he does in live action, but in animated form.
I think, like, part of me wishes all the properties were in the same style, but if it can work, then it can does that mean Metroid would be live action? Because that's sorta grittier?
I think James Gunn says it best, where it's like, as long as it's the right story written by the right people with the right director, it should be okay.
Mhm.
And that's the only way anything gets a pass in the DCU is that he wants to make sure the script and the director are the best possible options, and then he'll greenlight the project. I think Nintendo's probably taking a similar route. As long as the script is okay and the story's good and the casting is done well and the director is set, I don't think there'll be any problems. Their biggest hurdle will be if they do want to collide and make a big crossover movie, is picking out a director that can actually get it to be successful.
True. 100%.
They would have to pull the important parts of every prior project to make that work well. I'm also interested to see how the DCU ends up doing it with Justice League. I know we're still quite a ways away from that, but um the future is looking bright for us nerds and
Yeah.
geeks. Like you said earlier, 10-year-old me is having a blast. If you would have told 10-year-old Steven, hey, there's going to be a potential Nintendo Cinematic Universe in the future, I would be like, shut your face.
I mean, and the movies are doing what they intended. Like, literally the day after I saw it, I messaged you and I said, "Come over and let's play Mario Party," because
Yeah,
I am dying to play Mario Party. Like, it did its job. Like, I'm I'm in. Like, I feel like a kid again.
I don't
It's
have
just
Mario Galaxy, and I saw the movie and I was straight, literally went onto shopping online to see if I could find Super Mario Galaxy to buy and play right now because, like you said, it did its job really well.
yeah, I'm sold. I feel good. So out of curiosity, if you had to, like, give this out of 5 stars or 5, whatever you wanna use as the marker for the show, how many
Put
Svens would you give it?
put it up on the screen, the star sprites from the original 64 game.
That's good. I love that. That's much more clever than I was thinking.
Uh, I'm a kid. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5. I don't give a shit. Say what you will. Like I said, I went into the movie in awe. I left the movie in awe. I have no notes, but I'm gonna probably go watch it again.
I had to see it again,
I
but
haven't done that since Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So,
I
yeah.
think I think I'm gonna go 4. Not to say I didn't like, I think I loved it just as much as you did. I think for me to give a 5 is something that, like, would win awards or is you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go that I think for what it is and tried to be, I think it nailed it, and it did it to the best of its ability, which is t for me, would put it at 4 stars. Like, I'm the first one is honestly, like, I may have loved it more than the first movie. Honestly don't know. I think I need to watch it again. It just made me happy. Like, I left just being like, "Man, that was great," and, like, think
Listen,
of all these different moments that we saw. Yeah, it was just good.
it won the Sven Award, so that's why it gets a 5 out of 5 from me.
Go for it. Give it the Sven Award.
I literally no notes. I will watch this over and over again. When it comes out in streaming, I will watch the first and the second one back to back.
That
Maybe I'll host a viewing party at my house. I don't know. But
that's fun.
if to keep in the nature of you versus who, let's pit them against each other. How who Super Mario Brothers, the first movie, versus Super Mario Galaxy, the second movie. What's your take?
Man, it might be recency bias, but I do feel like I wanna go for the second one, only because although the stories for both are kind of bananas, I do think the second one structurally made a little more sense. It was this Star Wars-esque space adventure where people are traveling through space looking for each other. I think the first one had a too many and forced moments, like Luigi just so happened to show up at a mansion. All the Kongs for some reason are all into go-karts. Like there was a lot of moments like that where like they put it into writing because it's like a little too forced. I don't think you got a lot of that here. Like you got Fox and whatnot, but like it still made sense for like a space adventure and a lot of that like still worked. I think I think it was funnier. I think although it didn't have like as much of the classic nostalgia, like, it wasn't a classic Peach being captured, Mario has to save her. I think I like the second one more.
Okay. Also, it's like you said, it's more of a Peach movie because in this one, it's Peach rescuing Rosalina. So
Yeah,
for me, I will say the first one. I think I like
okay,
still probably better. So if I were to rate it 5 stars, it'd be 5.5 out of 5 stars. Don't judge me.
go for it. You no
And
argument, you're the boss here.
it won 2 Sven Awards. So for me, this is probably why. I think showing the growth arc of Mario learning the new world because they're coming from Brooklyn into the Mushroom Kingdom and that like training arc that Peach puts him through. It was cool to see like Mario going from like it was kind of like the Neo from the Matrix situation where Neo's like put into the Matrix and Morpheus is like, you can do all these things because it's the Matrix. And he's like, what do you mean? I can't break the laws of physics. And he's like, son, you can. And then he proceeds to teach him how. I think that's what we got with the first Mario movie. It was Peach basically being the Morpheus to Mario's Neo. And that was super fun to see. The conveniences don't bother me as much because, again, it's supposed to be a whimsical, funny time. And I think it all works. The story was very like Alice in Wonderland esque instead of Star Wars Space Adventure. It was
Okay,
very like
yeah.
Mario goes into an unknown world, has to figure it out, that kind of situation. And I also feel like the comedy might be a little bit better. Listen, I still to this day sing peaches, 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 peaches. Like Bowser is just good comedy no matter which movie you're in.
Mhm.
And he definitely carries the comedy in both movies, but I think the first one, he was just much more himself. In this
Okay,
one, he was a little bit more reserved because he was trying to figure out he was going through a character arc, which is fine. I was for it. But Bowser Jr. was really much more the villain in this movie. Whereas like
true.
in the first one, he really felt like he was in his own body. He knew who he was. He was very adamant about what he was going to do, which is to kidnap the princess and marry her. And, I think overall the first one just gave a much more classic, grandiose Mario feel, and then it ends in that epic battle where Mario and Luigi get the star power up, and they, like that. It's just so good. Like it's just it can't be beat. And I don't think there was that moment for me in the second one. There wasn't like that big epic final battle, which I'm. It's not that I necessarily need it every time, but that's what puts the first one for me over the second one.
I felt like we got it with Bowser though. Like I thought the Bowser fight on the bridge was really fun because it was so classic Super Mario.
It was, and it was a good callback to the OG Mario, but it didn't have the power up epicness. Like it didn't have a star or a feather or any of those things to like take it up to the next level. It's
Okay.
like in the Sonic movies when in the last the third movie, Shadow and Sonic get the Master Emerald or the Chaos Emeralds, and they turn into Super Sonics and Super Shadow. Like that feeling that just awakens inside of you. It'd be like the same moment when Cap picks up the hammer in Infinity War or Endgame.
Mhm.
It's like that feeling of like, ooh, epicness is about to start. Or it's like when Storm like does a little monologue before casting an obnoxious storm on someone. Like
Yeah.
that's the feeling I want to get, and I didn't quite get that in the second movie. The
Okay.
closest to that would be the Peach and Toad fight for me, and that wasn't. It didn't put it over the edge for me at all.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, it's not even comparing apples and oranges, these two movies, though. It's like an orange and another orange. Like they're both so. good that, like and so similar that I don't
It's like a
know like, it's
clementine and a
very tough to compare 'em.
tangerine.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's an orange and a tangerine. That's really it. It's just they're both so similar that, like, I don't it's hard. Like, I would need multiple I've seen the first one enough times. I would need to see the second one a few more times in order to, like, really have an opinion. But either
And
way, I'm happy with both, and
and
I feel I'm in it.
I'm satisfied. Also, the first movie has, like, the Donkey Kong helping them at the end with the carts and
Mhm.
everything. That's what I wanted out of Fox in the second one, and we didn't get that either.
True. Yeah,
Like
Fox didn't really get involved as much for
like,
sure.
he did pilot them to the planet, and it was
Mhm.
cool to see him, like, navigate that, but I don't know, I wanted a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah, if he got involved a little bit more, that would have been kind of fun to see them, like, fighting alongside of each other.
Or even, like, when Mario, Peach, Luigi, and Yoshi, when they get dropped off from Fox and they go through that epic, like it was a callback to how they travel in Super Mario Galaxy, and they were, like, getting into the planet, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, yeah.
So when that happened, I thought, like, I for sure it was gonna be a cooler battle going into that, and seeing all 4 of them kind of, like, into, like, a crazy combat would have really gotten it, but then they separated them into 2 groups, and then it just it fell flat a little bit for me there.
Sure. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it was a fun time. This was a fun episode to discuss. It's a little bit shorter episode, but that's okay.
It's fun size.
It's fun size. It's
Yeah, this is a you versus who fun size special.
it's a
I don't know what you're gonna call these.
it's a you versus who blue mushroom.
But ooh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, shrunk in a little bit. But thank you, Dan, for being here. And I know we talked about it before the movie even dropped that we wanted to do this. And I'm so glad we did get to do this. I hope we get to do more of this. So
Absolutely.
yeah, here's to the future.
Avengers Doomsday, are we gonna do one for that, I imagine?
If we're not doing it for Supergirl, I don't know if we could still be friends.
Supergirl's next, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sold. I'll do it.
I mean, we gotta discuss the DCU going forward, and that is the second film in the franchise.
We're at the start of these 2 big universes. Man, the
And at
nerds are
the
eating.
end of Marvel's second biggest act in their universe.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny, like, Marvel now is, like, the old man in the group. Like, they've been doing it well, actually, Star Wars probably is older, but
Star Wars.
no, I think Marvel I think, like, new Star Wars started much after Marvel. So, Star Wars still almost feels, like, fresher than Marvel in a weird way.
Yeah.
But it's all good, it's all gravy, and I feel like I got no
Mandalorian
arguments
and,
for me.
and Grogu?
Yeah, that we can do it for that too. I will talk to you about movies until I'm blue in the face. I'll talk to you about movies that came out decades ago. I have opinions on many, many movies.
All right, we're doing it. If you guys enjoyed this very special Blue Mushroom episode, please give us a like, rate us 5 star on Spotify, drop a comment, give us a follow, do all the things. You guys are what will help grow this podcast and allow us to do many more of these. And I love doing them with Dan. So please let us continue.
Yes, please. This is the
Also,
like I said, this is the highlight of my week. So yes, anybody who wants to help out, post in the comments, tell us what you thought about the movie, please.
yeah, and give us feedback too. If there's anything that you guys want us to talk about, if you want to add into the bucket of potential arguments, please do so. You can email us at youversuswho@gmail.com. You can follow us on the socials, you versus who pod on YouTube and Instagram, or you versus who one on TikTok. And we love and appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Peace, love, and prosperity. Peace out, y'all.
Woo wahoo!
Good way to cap it.
Yeah, go ahead and end it.